Okay, well, good afternoon. My name's Liam Ruane. I'm a hosted sales specialist for Gamma Communications PLC. Some of you won't have heard of Gamma. We're not a company that sells to the general public. We work in the wholesale chain, but we are a tier one carrier network. And we work alongside partners throughout the UK, of which Welcomm are one of our platinum partners. Now, we work with over 1,000 different organisations. We've probably got half a dozen of them that sit within the platinum partner space. And that means that from an ethos point of view, they're very well aligned to what we do. It also means that they're well trained and well versed from an engineering and a sales perspective in understanding our products and being able to deliver unified solutions out to their end user customers. Today's session is going to be about winning new business with reliable communications. And I'm going to talk you through what I feel are some of the top 10 things that you need to be thinking about. So the first thing I'm going to talk about really is that cloud-based telephony. In the case of Gamma, our hosted telephony solution is called Horizon. In today's world, that enables you to effectively work from anywhere. And if we start to see what's happened in the UK over the last 18 months in terms of the pandemic, that ability to be able to have that communication, depending whether you're sat at home like I am today, or I perhaps want to work from the office tomorrow. So if we're going to start looking at that hybrid model, it's that technology is underpinning that for the business. It also means that your workforce is going to be working where they feel comfortable in today's world. And if people are comfortable, obviously you're going to get the most out of that staff in terms of what they're doing. And then obviously moving forward, it's going to enable you as business to attract the right talent into your business to enable you to be successful. Horizon also has an integrated contact center available as part of the service called Horizon Contact. And this enables users to integrate voice, email, and web chat into a single pane of glass. So what that means is in today's world, successful companies are going to be the ones that interact with their customers in the way that they want to interact with you. So what this will do from an organizational point of view is it allows you to become more efficient. You can have a monitoring tool that sits over the top of that. It's not just monitoring how many calls somebody makes or, how long they spent on the phone or how long it took for calls to be answered. We're now starting to interrogate, well, if we've got a central mailbox that the team are looking at, is who's responding to those emails? How often and how quickly are we responding to those emails? So the organization is getting an overall picture in terms of what's going on. But also it means that we're giving a better customer experience out to the people that we're dealing with from outside of the organization. We can have historical interactions in terms of what's going on there. So we can see when they last called in or when they last sent us an email, what the notes were from the last agent that spoke to that person. So it's, telecommunications has moved on dramatically in today's world in terms of sort of where we are. If we're moving telecommunications up into the cloud, we're moving away from that old architecture that's been delivered to us over the last sort of decades, really, from British Telecom into the IP world. Now, what that means is your telephone numbers, you can obviously keep them, but you could now start taking telephone numbers from any geographical location across the UK. So if we are starting to look at, we want to extend our reach and we want to show a local presence in other areas. Now, your office may be based in London, for example, but you could present a Birmingham 0121 number when you're making phone calls in Birmingham. You can present a Newcastle 0191 telephone number, to give that local presence, and which means more people are more likely to answer that phone call from you today. The flip side of that is that you have the ability to have non-geographic telephone numbers. So you can replace that standard 01 telephone or 02 telephone number with the likes of an 0800 number or an 0345 services. Now that completely removes that geographical barrier. And depending on the type of business that you'll run, one of those solutions might be something that's applicable to you. So chat to the team. It's certainly something that we can help with. What comes with moving your telephony up into the cloud is that ability to be able to manage it, from a browser. So it doesn't matter where you are. You don't need to go into the office to change a card or plug in a handset. You can get an internet browser. You can create a new user. You can change the way that the routing works. So tomorrow I'm going to be out. I want my desk phone to be ringing onto my mobile phone so I'm not missing those calls. Or as a user, I want to have a unified one mailbox. I've got that capability of being able to do that. And that's what the new technology in today's world is enabling us to do. The next thing I wanted to talk about is that of having a choice of how I use the communications. So the traditional telephone systems, you would have had a physical handset sat on your desktop, it would ring and you'd use it. It's a bit like what one's got from their home telephone line. In today's world, we've got a plethora of different types of ways that we want to be able to communicate. Now, that could be that it's an app that sits on a mobile phone, whether you're using Android or iOS, that can become your extension. Maybe you want to have an app that sits onto your PC. So we don't actually have that piece of plastic on our desktop. We've got that capability of being able to do that. And that, I guess, it comes back to your staff being comfortable in terms of where they work, and that enables them to be more successful and work in the way that they want to. You're also, for somebody my age, I'm very happy to use a physical handset. That's what I've used for a very long time. But, if you were starting to look at those new generation of people come through, so, that Generation X, they want to do everything on an app. I've got young kids. I know exactly what that means in today's world. Integrating your telephone system into your customer relations management platform, is key in being successful in today's world. Horizon hosted telephony solution integrates into a number of different CRM systems, such as Salesforce, Microsoft Dynamics, Soho, or Bullhorn. If we're integrating your CRM system into Horizon, for example, we'll support that ability to do click to dial. So if we use Salesforce internally, so that means that I can live and breathe in Salesforce. I can see a contact, see their telephone number, click on the number, it will automatically dial them. It'll also give you that capability of having a screen pop from an inbound phone call. So if I'm being called by a customer, the system will recognize the telephone number and will screen pop that customer record coming in. So I'm not just saying, hello, how can I help you? It's hello, John, hello, Dave, how are you? It's a bit more personable in terms of what's going on. So it's getting the most out of the technology that you've already invested in within the business, but giving out that better customer experience that people expect in today's world. That reporting piece, doesn't just come within the contact center. Horizon utilizes a Kixi for call reporting and wallboards. Now that could be a nice big TV in the office showing some graphics in terms of what's been going on today. There is that overarching ability to see what's going on within the telephone system. So, having live wallboards, letting your staff know how many people are currently waiting, how many agents are on the telephone at the moment, have we had any abandoned calls that have come into the business today? Now, if you're a sales-led organization and somebody calls into your company, and you don't have a chance to pick up that phone call, that's potentially lost revenue. So how about having the technology that would track that information for you, could produce a report and email it out to somebody or show it on a live TV to give you that capability to be able to call those people back. So, the power of using the technology to deliver a better customer experience, it really is here today and something that you can take advantage of. We've talked about the ability of having different types of technology in terms of using the telephone system in today's world. So whether that be a physical handset or a client that sits on your PC or on your mobile, Horizon also has that capability of being able to use Microsoft Teams as the front end. So as an organization, if that's something that you're used to doing, and especially over the last sort of 18 months in the pandemic, the teams have been using that to talk internally to one another on video calls. You can bolt the phone system into that and start using that technology to speak to the outside world. From a user adoption point of view, it certainly means that you'll get a far greater uptake from the staff, but it also means that from the Horizon side is you're getting all of that technology that sits in the background that enables you to see what everyone's doing in terms of from a reporting point of view, or if you are recording phone calls, it's something we can do as well. Now, recording phone calls is something that's certainly becoming more prevalent in today's world than it ever has been. It's now moving to the cloud, so you can retain phone calls anything from 3 months through to 7 years, depending on whether it's for dispute resolution or you've got some regulatory requirements over that. But it also has a great interest from a training staff point of view. He's going back and listening to Liam's calls for today and how did he perform. If there's something particularly great, play it to the rest of the team. If it's something that wasn't particularly great, we can do some training about that's not what we're looking for. This is how we can improve what we're doing. Now, if we take that training piece back into the contact center, the supervisors can have that live ability to listen into live phone calls. Maybe have a coach conversation with the agent without the end user customer hearing what's going on. Or having that capability, being able to barge into the call to make it a three-way conversation, perhaps release the agent back off, so they can go back into the queue to take some more phone calls. So the art of what's possible is certainly much bigger in today's world from a communications point of view. One of the solutions we've discussed today is Horizon Contact, which can empower your business to communicate with your customers across multiple communication channels. For more information about Horizon Contact or anything else that we've spoken about today, or to speak to Welcomm about how they can help your business win customers, visit their website link below. Thanks for your time.